Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're exploring the story of an artist, Barney Bellinger, born right here in Johnstown. His work feels like it's actually grown out of the upstate New York landscape.
Absolutely. And that's really our mission for this deep dive, isn't it? We've looked at sources covering, well, 5 decades of his career leading up to this big homecoming exhibition.
Right.
We want to unpack for you, the listener, how someone builds such a lasting body of work, especially how it can come, perhaps surprisingly, from moments of real catastrophe.
And the sheer range of his work jumps out immediately. I mean, this isn't just one thing. If you spend time around the Adirondacks or Saratoga Springs, you've probably seen his stuff.
You almost certainly have, yeah. Maybe without even knowing the whole story behind it.
Like those classic hand-lettered signs you see.
Those could well be his, or maybe one of his landscape paintings. They have this real expressive quality. But then there's the third element, maybe the most defining, his rustic furniture.
Oh, okay.
Which isn't just furniture, it's more like sculpture, really. Feels alive.
So let's go back. 5 decades, you said.
Yeah.
Takes us to, what, 1971?
That's the start. He actually converted his father's garage, his shop, into a custom paint studio.
Okay, so not rustic furniture then.
Not at all. Think high gloss, precision. He was airbrushing motorcycles, vintage cars, that whole custom vehicle scene. Bold, mechanical, very skillful work.
Right, a master of that high-speed aesthetic.
Exactly. That was his first sort of professional identity, customization, technical perfection. He built a solid reputation in that world.
But then something changed dramatically. The sources point to a fire.
Yeah, nearly 10 years into that career, a huge fire. It leveled the building, everything. The studio, the tools, all of it. Gone.
Wow. So that forced a change.
Force is the right word. It wasn't just a setback like needing a new roof. It was, well, an existential crisis for his art.
Yep.
Imagine your whole identity, the equipment, the skills tied to that specific glossy industrial thing you'd perfected, just erased.
Yeah.
So the sources really emphasize this wasn't just about rebuilding a physical place. It was about having to find a totally new artistic purpose. Because the old one was, quite literally, ashes.
That's a huge point. Did
Yeah.
he even consider, just buying new airbrush gear and starting the car thing again? Or was the loss so complete it instantly shifted his thinking?
Well, what's really striking is how fundamental the shift was and how quickly it seemed to happen. He didn't go back to the chrome and the precision. No. He turned inwards, drew on memory. He essentially traded, steel for wood, steel for bark. That's when the landscape really seems to take hold of his purpose.
So he rebuilt, but differently.
Completely. The new space wasn't for painting cars. It was built around a memory, actually, a specific one.
Which was?
Deep walks in the forest with his grandfather. That memory became central.
His grandfather taught him painting.
No, not technique. He taught him, and this phrase comes up, to listen to the woods.
Huh. Listen to the woods.
Yeah, and that simple idea, it seems, became the foundation for the next 50 years. It shaped not just his inspiration, but the actual materials he started using.
Okay, let's make that tangible for people listening.
Yeah.
Listening to the woods leads him to become this really celebrated East Coast rustic artist. What does that look like? What materials are we talking about now?
It means working with what the forest provides, often what others might overlook or discard. We're talking furniture made from reclaimed wood.
Stuff that's already aged, weathered.
Exactly. Or naturally fallen trees. He uses antlers, birch bark, the textures and shapes already imprinted by time and the elements, things that hold the story of the forest.
That transition is fascinating. He goes from the absolute control of airbrushing, that smooth finish,
Right.
to working with materials that are inherently irregular. Bark, antlers, weathered wood. That must have been incredibly difficult, practically speaking.
Oh, massively difficult. Think about it. Custom painting is about imposing smoothness, uniformity. Rustic art, at least his kind, is about celebrating the non-uniform.
You can't just order a standard sheet of reclaimed bark.
Precisely. You have to source it, find scraps. Maybe pull old metal bits from forgotten corners of the woods. You need to understand the integrity of wood that might be partially decayed.
Right.
Then you have to figure out how to join these unique, irregular pieces so the final thing feels organic. Like it wasn't forced, but grew that way.
And this philosophy extends beyond the furniture, too, right? The sources mention his signs feeling sacred, his paintings having this deep stillness.
Exactly. Even when he goes back to a canvas, the feeling isn't the gloss and speed of a car anymore. It's the quiet weight of the wilderness.
It's a shift from maybe surface to depth.
I think that's a great way to put it, from speed to permanence. You see the Adirondacks, the regional landscapes in his paintings, but it's filtered through this profound respect for the materials, for nature itself. He's applying high skill, yes, but to materials that demand a kind of humility.
And here's something that really stands out, especially if you're working creatively yourself. This whole 5-decade journey, signs, paintings, huge furniture pieces he did it all with, apparently no formal art training.
It's pretty incredible, isn't it? No formal training, no mentors in the traditional sense, no clear roadmap laid out for him.
Oh, where'd it come from?
The sources point to just curiosity, a deep care for his surroundings, for the materials, and community. It wasn't theory learned in the classroom. It was learned through doing, through failing remember the fire, and through rebuilding.
Does that lack of formal training, does it maybe give his work a different quality, maybe more intuitive because he wasn't bound by academic rules?
Well, that's the question it raises, doesn't it? Formal training gives you tools, absolutely, but sometimes it also gives you rules about what art should look like.
Right.
Bellinger, learning by doing, by responding to the materials themselves, maybe wasn't restricted in the same way. He followed what the wood, the bark, the metal allowed. His education was, you could say, the burned-out shop and the forest.
Which makes the work feel so grounded in this place, in this region.
Exactly. He wasn't trying to paint an idea of the landscape. He was using the landscape itself, literally.
And this whole story, this resilience, turning loss into something new. It's all coming back to Johnstown now with this exhibition.
Yes. It's a real homecoming, a chance for the community that shaped him initially to see the full arc of this incredible journey. It's called Art and Design, the art and process of Barney Bellinger.
And it covers the whole range, signs, paintings, the rustic work.
That's the idea, to show the scope of it all. And the sources also frame it as more than just an art show. It's about cultural enrichment for the area.
Ah, okay. How so?
It's being held at the Perrella Gallery. And through the foundation of FM, there's an emphasis on helping local students experience culture beyond the classroom.
So using his journey, this self-taught mastery as inspiration.
Precisely. It's a tangible example for young people that, creativity doesn't always need a fancy degree or a perfect plan. Sometimes it needs grit, purpose, and knowing how to pivot when things go wrong. It connects high art back to local roots, local materials, personal history.
So if you're in the area or planning a trip to upstate New York, this sounds like a must-see. The exhibition is where exactly?
It's at the Perrella Gallery right there on the FMCC campus, Fulton-Montgomery Community College in Johnstown, New York.
And the dates?
Plenty of time to catch it. It opens October 1st, 2025 and runs right through the winter, closing January 6th, 2026.
Okay, good stretch. And is there an opening event?
There is. A reception is planned for Thursday, October 16th. That's from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Good chance to see the work and maybe connect with others who appreciate his story.
Great. So looking back at the whole sweep, those 5 decades.
Yeah.
The core theme really is transformation, isn't it?
Absolutely. Turning literal ashes into lasting art. Taking things people might see as junk scraps of metal, bits of bark, and seeing the potential, elevating them into something celebrated, something permanent.
It's like artistic salvage, but on a life scale.
Yeah.
It really shows that potential isn't always about starting fresh with a blank slate. Sometimes it's about redefining what you already have, even the wreckage.
Which leads us to sort of a final thought for you, the listener. Bellinger's path, it demonstrates that really valuable, meaningful work can come from failure, from the forgotten corners, from materials you might have just written off.
Right.
So the question to maybe mull over is this. What parts of your own life, professional or personal, maybe projects you see as failed or skills you think are obsolete, things you've mentally discarded could actually hold the raw material for something new, something meaningful, creative, just waiting for you to, look at it differently?
That's a powerful thought to carry away. If you want to find out more about the exhibition, the gallery, or supporting their work, the contact email is perrella.gallery@fmcc.edu.
A really fascinating deep dive. Thanks for joining us.